juice is loose as for the entire month of July, Bitcoin has battled and been rejected off of the 21 daily moving average. And yesterday, as Bitcoin was seemingly dumping to the downside out of a week-long consolidation triangle, can Bitcoin diddle its way back to a bullish breakout? As a huge reversal on this key on-chain metric flashes right now, and TikTok banning influencers from promoting crypto. But the biggest question now is, will the doggy coins be able to survive without the 9-year-olds on TikTok buying it? And most people right now believe one of two things. The bears believe we're here, and the bulls believe we're here. But what I have to show you is guaranteed to wet your whistle, and perhaps something else as well. I'm your host, Willie Wackoff, and why isn't anyone talking about the Wackoff accumulation anymore? Just an absolutely critical question that I had this morning, as last week, I believe everyone was talking about it, and I was making videos about it because, boy oh boy, was it the talk of the town. But I haven't really seen or heard or seen any tweets of anyone talking about the Wackoff accumulation anymore. Holy ravioli, boys, girls, and everything in between. Do we have a lot of munching to do today, as Bitcoin temporarily, as of this very second, is actually breaching the 21 DMA, and this is just going to be a big test as we go into the weekend here. But we got a little nice dumpy move to the downside yesterday, or even like 2 days ago. It started late in the night, and I got so many comments saying, look at this absolutely devastating, massive crash. But the big question is, for the entire month of July so far, all 9 days, Bitcoin just right on the 21 DMA. Will this finally prove to be the resistance that the bears think it is? Or in fact, is this the beginning of a potentially very big, very explosive rump? So you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, share these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further magoo, let's dump on in. Wow, so I have no choice but to lean forward, as I leaned back on this too much, and this chair won't really support my tiny baby body anymore. But TikTok influencers banned from promoting crypto, guys. This is actually pretty big, and I think the ramifications, especially as we heat up into another alt season and a very big explosion moving forward, I think this is going to be very important, because I think a lot of people underestimate just how big TikTok is. So I don't personally use TikTok, but it's an absolutely very, very, very big and influential app here. But it's insanely popular, and it has been very influential or very instrumental in Dogecoin's success. Absolutely. I remember even back in like January of 2021, so many TikTok influencers I would see in my news feed, like on Twitter, about how they were pumping Dogecoin, and just very big. It was overlapping onto a lot of the other different apps as well, because again, TikTok just has huge influence. But it's actually huge news, I think, that TikTok is not allowing people to really talk about crypto or other financial services such as loans, credit cards, Forex trading, for example. All of those also banned. So that's very big. And over the next few weeks, we'll begin using technology to automatically remove some types of violative content identified upon upload, in addition to removals confirmed by our safety team, guys. So that's absolutely very big. Let me know what you think about that. I don't use TikTok. I don't think a lot of people, maybe a lot of people watching YouTube crypto videos use TikTok. I don't really know. But as well, here on Glassnode, we do see the miners turning back into net accumulators of Bitcoin. Take a peek at this. Absolutely very big. So something to be watching as well. But guys, we have a lot of things going on right now. First of all, we have the DXY absolutely moving to the downside very nicely today. Over the last 2 days, it's down like almost 1%, which for the DXY is a lot. Bitcoin, that's nothing. Bitcoin moves 5% up and down every single day, but for the DXY, that's a pretty big move, and you can see that here. Again, I still think that the DXY is running on its last legs. I don't think the US dollar is all of a sudden going to come back and be very strong or anything like that. And as well, what I talked about in the intro here, this is the entire altcoin market cap. And before we get into this, because I think people think there are two main scenarios right now, guys, Bitcoin dominance. This is Bitcoin back in 2016, even the beginning of 2017. First quarter of 2017. Bitcoin had always been above 90% dominance, okay? And then the last bull market that ended at the very beginning of 2018 was the very first time where we saw altcoins absolutely, at one point, they were over 65% of the entire market. Meaning we saw Bitcoin not be the absolute king, not even be 50% of the entire market, half of the entire market, for the first time in history. So moving forward, one thing I think everyone's doing, myself included, that I think might be a big mistake, is watching Bitcoin to see if it's going to lead the entire market always, because it always has, right? And it makes the most sense. But as time moves on, and clearly we see a trend here of altcoins becoming more and more popular and more dominant, wouldn't it make sense to just factor in what the entire altcoin market is doing? And that's exactly what this chart is. So a lot of people, I think the bears think this is exactly where we're at. We're below the 21-week moving average for Bitcoin and also the entire altcoin market cap. You can see Bitcoin sits at about 48,000. That's where its 21-day moving average is. The entire altcoin market cap sits, or its 21-day is right around like 840 billion-ish. So a little under 100 billion where we currently are right now. So with that being said, because we're below the 21-week, a lot of people are bearish. But yeah, we quickly went down to the 50-week during the last bear market for the entire altcoin market cap, got rejected off the 21-week, and then that like ultimately cemented that we were in a bearish trend. So it looks something like this. Okay, that's basically, if we would just transpose this onto that, that's exactly what it looked like last time. But I think that's what the bears are arguing. And what I think the bulls are more arguing is if we go back, even back to sometime at the end of 2016, where we had a very nice prolonged move below the 21-week, where we got rejected over and over and over and over, but we never went down to that 50. And in fact, once we actually broke the 21-week, we absolutely exploded unfathomable gains, up like just insane percents. I'm not saying we're going to do that again, but all I'm saying is just because we're below the 21-week doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything incredibly bearish. And as well, taking into account time, we have not been in a bull market very long. So again, there are a lot of things to debate there. But basically, my point is everyone up until this point has been looking at Bitcoin solely as the market indicator. But as time goes on, I think it makes more and more sense to start looking at altcoins as well, because they're taking up more and more of the market, more and more of the interest. And I just think it's silly to just assume that Bitcoin is always going to lead everything. And I wouldn't say that if the entire Bitcoin dominance chart looked like this, if it was like a flat line of always being above 90%, but it's not. It's very clear that altcoins they have a role in this space and people are interested in them. And let's be honest, there's a lot of scams. Obviously, a lot of altcoins are scams. In fact, most, like 99% of altcoins are scams. But with that being said, the coins that are not scams exist, and there are coins that do things that Bitcoin cannot do. In fact, there's a lot that Bitcoin cannot do. There is actually a huge amount that Bitcoin cannot do that altcoins are doing, whether it is decentralized finance, which is probably the best thing to point to outside of a traditional Bitcoin narrative. But yeah, it's just very clear, and I think it makes sense to start looking at what the altcoins are doing, because if the altcoins recover here and they start, battling back with Ethereum specifically and then the entire altcoin market cap, then I could quickly see Bitcoin gaining from that and Bitcoin lifting off, very similar to what happened in 2019, as we keep repeating. But on this daily chart for Bitcoin, we're at 34,000. We had a little bit of a move yesterday, and we're right back up to the 21-day. But again, the key is breaking the 21-day. Really, nothing bullish has happened until we actually break it and hold there. And that's something we've been waiting for. Obviously, Bitcoin broke out of this about week-long consolidation to the downside, found support right at this fettuccine level. Now it's finding resistance right at this next one after bouncing there. So again, realistically, not too much has happened, but it was not very bearish. A lot of people are just jumping the gun too quick. We go down 1% and people, I notice it. Like when we drop like 1 or 2%, I start getting spammed with comments being like, see, I told you Bitcoin's going under 20K. And it's like, Bitcoin's still at 33, still at 34,000. Like nothing happened, but people are just so eager to scream, this is incredibly bearish. And that's probably because they're not actually that confident that Bitcoin will go to 20K or below 20K. Okay, because if they were more confident, I feel like they would at least wait until Bitcoin got closer to 20K, at least under 30K. But the thing is, every time we go to 30K, we immediately go back above it. So that's how I view it. The bearish people in the comments that start screaming, we're going to 20K, I just don't think they're very confident. So you see it move down $500, $1,000, and they get very cocky. But I mean, obviously, again, nothing has really happened here. This 2-month consolidation as well, we're still just trading within this triangle here. So again, no real breakout. I think it's going to be decided soon. We're kind of coming to a climax here, so it'll be absolutely very big. Just trading within all these key fettuccine levels, and as well, still all of these massive levels of support and resistance we're respecting to the upside. I think it's going to be very difficult to break this $37,000 level. But that's Bitcoin's test that it has here. That is what we need to watch. It's currently just facing resistance at these 21 and 50 moving averages on the 6-hour chart. But yeah, other than that, Bitcoin is having an upside move today. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Make sure to check out the description for bonuses for a bunch of different things. In fact, we just added a BlockFi link there. Very popular and very liked, and it has amazing reviews, right? BlockFi is well known across the space. I think most people actually use it. So there's some nice bonuses there with that. Yeah, but without any further ado, that's it for me.